What's up, team? Welcome back to the Froglogic Podcast. I'm your host, David Rut Rutherford. And man, this is a big deal for me. This is my 50th show of the Froglogic Podcast, and that feels good. I really have enjoyed doing this most recently, especially because of the challenging times we're in, and hopefully I'm providing just some kind of motivation or inspiration or something that'll make you feel decent and about, even though it's tough, that it's worth it all. And there's a lot of incredible opportunities that happen in the midst of crises, in the midst of challenges. We always, we see the worst of people, but at the same time, we see the most extreme best of people too. And so I want to thank all of you for allowing me to continue doing this and for supporting me, and for all those organizations that have hired me to speak and kept us alive here when I thought our industry was going to collapse. But, after creating an online presentation and giving it for the last 5 months, it's been thank you all to all the organizations that have supported. Most especially Pioneer, man. Thank you guys so much. And I want to also thank you, everybody who's still, buying stuff at the store and buying hats and t-shirts. Man, it means the world to us, every single one that you buy, and we thank you for it. And then everybody that's been listening to the show, man, I can't thank you enough. It's just such a humbling thing when you get the direct messages from y'all and you send me emails and you just you make it known that Froglogic is helping you, and that gives me the inspiration that I want and I need to keep going every day in the face of all this adversity. I mean, man, all of us are in the storm right now. We are. We're getting hammered all across our lives, and because of that, and because of just all the positivity y'all are showing me, what I want to do is I'm going to offer a free motivational speech online. And all you got to do is you got to head over to this registration page at team-froglogic.mykajabi, which is kajabi.com/registration-page. If you head over there, you'll find my pandemic motivation sign up. I'm giving it Wednesday, August 26th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you'll sign up on there, and we'll send you a thank you email, and then we'll send you a link to the motivational site, to the webinar. And man, you'll be able to hear my latest pandemic motivation, find a pathway through the pain speech. And then I've been giving this to, probably grand total over 5,000 people recently online. And it's a powerful talk, because when, you're in the midst of real extreme environments, just pounding the snot out of you, that negative insurgency that I talk about all the time, that thing just waylaying you, man, we need something. We need it, and we find that in each other. And so as a result of just your incredible support of me for all these years and what I do and what I'm trying to do with Froglogic, I want to give something back, which is a free motivational talk. So head on over to team-froglogic.mykajabi.com/registration-page and sign up now. Why am I doing all this? Well, the reason why I created Froglogic originally was to help kids that are going through crisis and kids that are struggling in places. And over the last 15 years, it's gotten to a place where I'm really proud of. And one of the things that we strive to do at Team Froglogic is to help people that are going through the storm. to give you something to tap into, some advice, some counsel, some wisdom, some training. And all of this is really rooted in organizations and groups and ideas of people that have spent a lot of time in that storm. Now, one of the things that, and it's so wild that the reason is this popped up in my head was when Hurricane Isaias came through at the end of July, I just was like, oh man, this is a Hurricane 1. It's not going to be anything. We just had Dorian last year that we thought we were going to devastate, which absolutely destroyed the Bahamas. And it kind of hit me like, all right, I'm not even going to take a risk, right? Who knows what's going to happen? So what'd I do? Clean the outside vegetation, policed up the backyard, put everything in one secure location, went out, made sure we had extra propane tanks, made sure we had food, our storage food, our ready-wise, made sure we had all this, stuff. And it was powerful. And you go through this preparation, even though it's not a big storm, it's still a storm. And a storm rattles us, right? A storm shakes us. A storm challenges our joints. It challenges us, our ability to stay calm under pressure. It challenges us and whether or not we're have enough forethought and to get ourselves ready physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, right? And that's hard. And then, the people over in the Gulf right now that are going to get whacked with Marco and Laura potentially, one right after the other, man, hopefully you're all preparing right now. One of my best friends in the whole wide world, Sean Ryan, just did a great post on the 7 things he's using to prep right now. Head on over to vigilanceelite.com, man, and check out that blog. It'll do you some good. So, you have to prepare, man, and you have to prepare for all different kinds of things. And when you start to realize that storms are going to come no matter what, that starts to change your mentality. That starts to change your perspective. And when you can move into that fact that, if you look at throughout history, we've been able to come through some pretty heavy, insane storms, and we did so because groups of people worked hard together to get other smaller groups of people to come through this stuff. Large groups, really. I mean, World War II, 65 to 75 million people perished and saved countless others. Man, you start to think about those perils. You start to think about those storms, and it really kind of clears your eyes out. You wipe that haze over of fear that's off your eyes. Wipe that fear out of your eyes a little bit, and you'll see, man, we're a pretty tough species. We're a pretty tough culture, especially America. I mean, we've had our ass kicked a bunch, but each time we keep coming back. Now, I know what you're saying, and, don't think I'm not, if not right next to you, certainly a step behind you in knowing that what we've gone through is tough for everybody. I know the mental health issues right now in this country are, they're staggering, right? Suicides on the rise. We have all kinds of anxiety, addiction, alcoholism, spouse abuse, child sex trafficking. I mean, I've paid attention to Tim Ballard, and the man is single-handedly, that's not a fair statement. The guy, there's a lot of incredible groups out there. Craig Sawyer's group, guys over in Dallas. Oh man, there's a lot of good groups. I take that back, man, that are in the fight in trafficking. So, but the reality is, man, think about that storm. How many human beings have been trafficked throughout this quarantine? How many little kids? How many little kids have been beat up in their homes or raped in their homes throughout this, man? You think about those storms. You think about those storms for the individuals, right? You think about the other mental health storms and COVID, man. You think about the storms of, the 175,000 people and their lives and all those storms of the first responders that had to be in the hospitals with them, that had to watch them and, have them hold the phone, FaceTime their phone with their loved one because they couldn't come in. How about their storms? How about George Floyd's storm? Man. Let's just start with COVID, right? That's where I want to really dig in. Let's start in COVID, right? Now, the one thing about COVID, man, we had almost zero time to prep for this, right? Our last pandemic go around, H1N1, whatever it was, man, wasn't that bad, right? And so we kind of let our guard down. We didn't get prepared. And then it launched, those first signs, probably December, we're seeing stuff on the news. January, definitely seeing it all over the news. Wuhan, coronavirus. Man, not much time before it got here, right? In fact, starting to see some people say that the earliest now cases were in December, right? Even November, maybe. Man, that's the storm, right? Not much time to prepare. And so what happened? We kind of got caught off guard, and this storm kind of kicked our ass a little bit, particularly in large states with Florida, New York, New Jersey, Arizona, California, Texas. I mean, our numbers are, I think, all the people that have been really pushing to heal these people, all these doctors, big and small, big practices, small practices that are putting the time in and figuring out the best way to treat their patients. Man, think about that storm. Think about the effort that they're making. But what the problem is what we're doing is, man, we've got this, and I think about hurricanes. What do we all become fixated in hurricanes, right? As these tracking systems, these trackers that we update on NOAA, right? Every 30 minutes I would do it when big ones, when Dorian was there last year. Man, you're tracking, you want to see that thing. Well, man, what is our tracker? And right now it's the death tracker. Hey, tune in to the local death counter today. Man, that's heavy stuff, man. It's heavy stuff. You think about the person who punches the key or made the code for that, or that person who's working in the ICUs knows the numbers going up in their own specific thing, man. How about all the people that are seeing that tracker in fear, all the elderly people with pre-existing healthcare conditions that are on the CDC list, right? All the different people that have, all the respiratory distress. Man, that's a lot that are out there living with this storm. And I also think, the kids, my God, the kids are living with this storm, aren't they? That's the thing that gets me. That's the one that rips my heart apart, man. Is how many kids are going to suffer because of what's going on. And that we, as their guardians, we as the people that make big decisions within school districts and boards and school boards themselves, private and public, and unions and all these people that are making these big time decisions. And I'm not sure that I believe that they have the best interests of those children in their hearts, man. And I'll tell you, I'm generally not, I don't pick sides at all, but This one I absolutely will. Our kids need to go back to school. And what that means is that teachers in this country, or people that used to teach or who can be comfortable with taking that risk of getting back into the schools. When you look at the separation, the number between how many teachers there are and how many children are in our public school system, it's insane. And these people, these kids are relying on their ability to adapt, to adjust to society, to be able to fit in, to be able to consecrate a moral code, a value system, a way of looking at the world that's healthy and supportive. And you want to not know why America's been great for so long? It's because we educate our population. And more than just reading, writing, arithmetic, right? Now in coding and man, look at what Mike Rowe's doing. And the trades are coming back with a vengeance, right? I mean, how we don't even know if colleges are going to be around much longer. How about all the colleges that are saying, hey, come on back. No, we can do it. And then there's one little outbreak and they send all the kids home so they got the full price of their tuition and the parents signed off on it. I don't get that one either. It makes me wonder what the reason is why. And you don't tell me that, teachers are afraid. I understand that, but losing this, this could be 10 years of kids that suffer from this, from the post-traumatic stress of it, from the isolation, from the being parented by their screens constantly. What are they watching? Because what's going up on the screen nowadays? What's available out there for your kids? Are you able to sit down with them and have them watch something that's not an emergency every second? So we're actually selling the storm to our children. We're selling the storm all over the place. But we're not willing to sell and make our own sacrifice, to put our own souls on the line to help our kids. Man, that's the storm, I'll tell you. Think about those kids, man. What about the storm of where we're at from George Floyd, too, This is crazy where we're at. 83 straight days of rioting in Portland. You know what I mean? Rioting in Seattle, that place Chaz or Chop or whatever. A couple of those popped up around other places. Rioting in New York. Chicago. This is real, man. People are angry. People are pissed off right now. That's a real storm. You might not want to believe it, but I'm here to tell you that's a storm, folks. That's how societies begin to crumble. Riots in the streets, confrontation, pitting one class of group against another in order for the aims of the truly despicable, power-hungry, egomaniacal, crazy that want to control the rest of us, put us in fear. That storm, the individuals that are putting out there to remove policing. I thought we agreed that in the first part of this, we needed to get rid of the bad ones, right? Cipher them out of the departments, and then retrain the good guys, the tens of thousands of incredible police officers that are out there, man. Get them more trained so they can really learn how to get into those incredibly destructive, crime-ridden urban areas, man, like Chicago and Baltimore. And these places where crime is just skyrocketing, death rates are going through the roof. That's real. And if we can't figure out, man, if we can't figure out how to do this, that's a problem. Everybody needs to recognize that's a storm. You want to talk about a storm? And what's crazy to me, absolutely crazy to me, is that we have just one history book after the other that says, hey, this is what happens if a society or large group of people hit these points. This is what happens. It's not potentially what happened or what could happen or something that's so far back in history we've erased it, because I know there's a lot of desire to erase history right now. There's a lot of desire to want to control the First Amendment right now. There's a lot of desire to try and go after all different kinds of crazy things out there politically. And that's a storm, man. That's a big storm. That's a huge storm. And I believe there's a great many of these problems are really connected to this one. They're connected to this one that is heavy, man. It's connected to this one that this very well could tear us apart. Politics. The politics of a nation. This firestorm that is brewing all across the country, on every channel, on every screen. The storm that is just being forced down our throats. Man, that's a storm, all right. I just participated and watched the Democratic convention this week, and man, there were some brave people getting up there talking about some really unique differences and changes in our country that I think we all should take a look at for sure, and go through them and have discussions on them, and really, put in some good bipartisan debate on whether or not these types of concepts will help society, will help calm the storm that we're in. These types of conversations that I don't know if they've ever, they've had to have worked in the past, right? Otherwise, we would live in war perpetually. We would reduce the moral constraints of how you keep civilization together, right? As a highly evolved species, right? Or some might say we're devolving, right? So as this highly evolved species who has really conjured up this amazing way to communicate, a way where we're able to omit and receive love and respect and positivity and forgiveness and acceptance and empathy and all these really cool things that we figured out how to do as humans within the human condition, even amidst the storm after storm after storm after storm out there, man. Those storms that we face. And one of the things that I can say is after listening to Joe Biden's speech, man, we need to come out of the darkness and into the light. That's a heavy thing to say. That's pretty dark. That comes from Scripture, man. What are we talking about here, Mr. Vice President? What are we talking about? Can you give me some context of how dark it is? Will you give me the truth, the God's honest truth, the way you actually feel? Because I don't believe politicians can do that anymore. And trust me, I'm going to watch the Republican National Convention this week, and I'm going to see it. And I just read that Trump's going to be on every night, which is pretty interesting. And I'm going to hear a lot of the different message, on the other, that we need to get rid of the Democrats they're going to put us in the darkness and out of the light, I guess. It'll be the opposite, I guess it'll be, or whatever else they're going to tell us. Because, again, even Republicans have to say specific things that they don't actually believe in. Is that all of them? I hope not, man. God, I hope not. I know two dudes that are, one's a congressman right now and know another one running. Dan Crenshaw down in Texas, right? And my buddy Derek Van Orden up in Wisconsin, I think, pretty sure. And man, it's just good to see them. Hopefully they're going to get in office. They're going to stand, they're going to hold firm, man. They're going to go back to their roots and being a team guy and morality. Man, there's just an article today about, holy cow, another rape that happened with a SEAL team in Iraq, man. I've only read one article, so I haven't gotten a lot of information, but my God, what is some challenges we're facing the storm. Imagine if it's true for that poor woman. Imagine if it's not true. I don't know anymore, man. Because this whole political thing, it's tough to know what the truth is. It's tough to know, wait, who's actually for what? Are you telling me you're gonna do this because you want my vote, or are you actually gonna do it? Where do I stand morally? What are you gonna bring back into our lives so I don't feel like I have to live in this hyper state of vigilance anymore? What are you going to tell me that's going to make me feel a little bit easier that the economy's going to come back? What are you going to tell me that you're going to put in the right things that we need to do to help these racial tensions? What are you going to do to put in the right things to increase the sophistication and training of the police, man? I want to know these things. Because that's what is at stake right now. Right? The future. What's out beyond the storm? Back to a place where they must have felt like in, 1948 or 1949. After they had, so many people around the world had suffered. Had suffered so much. Wonder what those days were like when you'd wake up and you knew the world was at peace because everybody was so banged up. And you just got up with your family and, you felt pretty good because the existential reality of your death wasn't looming at all times, or at least the absolute catastrophic shift in your culture's longevity. I think one of the hardest things that we begin to do when we really deep down and dig in and we open up what the storm is really isn't the external world, because we've been going through storms for a long, 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 long time. And we've always somehow, some way, mostly through the things that I'd said before, empathy, love, forgiveness, teamwork, embracing our fears, living that team life. Man, I think the real question that we need to ask ourselves is the storm really inside of us? Deep down, what are we struggling with? I know what the answer really is. It's fear, man. We're all afraid right now. I know there's some people out there that said, no, man, hell yeah, World War III is going to be awesome. Or Civil War, saw one that was point two, right? Civil War point two or whatever it was, or 2.0, That was an old reference. I'm showing my age there. I'm sorry. But man, you guys, this is not a cool idea at all. We need to figure this shit out. The problem is, if we all understand that we're afraid and there's a fear enough, fear of them, a fear of that, a fear of this, a fear of whatever it might be, because nobody's just stopping and really being honest with each other and sitting down like civilized human beings know how to do, because we have done it in the past on some pretty magnificent times. How about Khrushchev and Kennedy not blowing up the world? So, hey, we can be diplomatic in the midst of a storm, everybody, because essentially we have history on our side. We know for a fact that people can actually work together. We know for a fact that when we get rid of the majority of lies within every single interaction with each other, because then what becomes truth? If truth slides off the edge into the abyss of the storm, let's check out that reference. What do we do, man? Because these mental health issues are going to keep getting bigger and bigger. And trust me when I tell you, when you keep a person locked in a mindset of violence or aggression or fear or anger or whatever, man, any of these hyper states of vigilance or stress or anxiety, these hyper states of where your body is just going through hell for long periods of time, man. You want to know why people didn't live a long age? Because back in the day when every day of survival was like that, every day you had to go hunt down the saber-toothed tiger. You had to, oh man, your crops didn't come in. 3 of your 12 kids are going to die. Oh, well, what was it? 80% female morbidity rate in birth. At birth, or I mean, the Black Plague. But what is the thing that has gotten us through all those? What is the thing that has gotten us through everything, man? Yeah. Your faith. You got to believe that that's an important part of stuff. You know, you don't have to be rooted in a religion like I am or other people I know are. You don't have to be rooted in that. Man, just be rooted in something that you believe that's going to make you better, that's going to make everybody love each other. That's the root of it, right? Have faith that love is the answer, man. That compromise, that empathy, that these are the things, these are the tentacles of the religion of being human beings, having to live with each other on this thing that flies around the sun. Have faith in that, man. If you can, if you're atheist, agnostic, if you're a Muslim and a Christian or a Jew and a Muslim or you're a Hindu or whatever, man. I don't care. But man, as long as your faith is telling you, hey, love is the way. That's it, because that's how we're going to get through all this. Because I'll tell you what, when you start really doing the deep, dark, truthful dig in yourself, and you start really asking yourself the questions, the hard questions. Do I hate other people? Right? Am I filled with anger all the time, and why? Why is it impossible for me to agree with anybody else, or for me to feel like there's an entire massive 150 million people on this country that don't agree like me? Now, I know it's much more towards the middle. I know that most people are good or try and keep to themselves. I think we all have demons, no doubt. I think we all sin, that's for sure. There's no doubt about that. I think there are different levels. There are different reasons why we do, whether our desires to pollute our minds with whatever it might be. Man, there's temptation. Because evil's real, don't get me wrong. And I know you're going to go, Rutherford, you're preaching. I'm not. I've just seen some horrific things. I've seen some horrific things. I've read some horrific stories. You know what I mean? You know, that 5-year-old kid that got shot in the head recently. Cannon Hinnott. Cannon Hinnott. Man, that's the storm. Evil's real, y'all. It is out there, and it's inside of us. And that's why in these moments, you have to realize that in these moments where you are provoked by the storm is thrashing you, beating you up, knocking you about, challenging your mast, challenging it all within inside you to hold still, to hold fast, to literally wrap the ropes around your hands on the wheel. And hold fast, man. Don't crack. Don't let your moral compass break. Resist that temptation to adopt the diseases that are threatening us. Resist that temptation not to help the person that's in the storm. Resist the temptation to only offer hate instead of love to other people, man. Because I'm here to tell you, if we don't get our act together and we stop lying, we be honest with what the truth of the storm looks like from all these different directions, all the different levels, and we begin to talk. We begin to compromise, and we begin to work together again, because there is no time in history that shows, right, that storms don't stop coming. It's just part of it, whether it's Mama Nature did it, or we manufactured the storm ourselves, which we have a very significant tendency to do. It's in the history. But we've also gotten through them, and we've gotten through them together. And that's how we have to get through this one. Because if we can really put up that mask of love and look at each other in the eye and help each other right now, then Beyond the Storm looks pretty good. I want to thank God. I want to thank Christ, my faith. I want to thank Jana for everything, man. Everything. You are the eye in the storm of me. You are the calm, the peace, the beauty. You're the everything. And I thank you. Thank you so much. And all of you, thank you. I really can't, again, I can't imagine. I can't be here without you. Thank you for listening to my description of the storm and to the other things that I try and offer with Froglogic. And once again, please, if you're available, head over to team-froglogic. Registration page. team-froglogic.mykajabi.com/registration-page. Sign up. I'm giving a free motivational speech on Wednesday, August 26th at 3 p.m. It'll be Eastern Standard Time. All you got to do is sign up at that landing page. We'll send you an email with the webinar information, and you come on, and there are limited spots, so get there soon. We're up to, I think, around 400, last I checked. So please, I'd love to pay you back for your support, and just can't thank you enough. And hey, listen, we're all in the storm together. Thank you. I love you. God bless you guys.